The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. Special show today in studio. Best friend, part of the girls chat. You've heard her on the show before when we've had like I think it's when we've done like the group ones.
Yeah.
From like girls trip chat weekends.
Variation of the podcast.
Yeah, it's Hala, everyone. You know where's Hala. Her name is not that, but it's Hala. Her last name's Holly, so in high school we called her Hala, and then somehow it just went to us saying
I was actually yesterday when I got into town, I went upstairs to my old bedroom and found my yearbooks, and someone, I can't remember who, signed it. I don't even know how to say this sound.
Like, we usually do an umlaut over the U, but even though we don't know what that means.
Yeah, no, we're not German. But some random person from high school, like some guy, was like, I don't even know what this sound was. Basically just to say, everyone called me that.
Yeah, even your nephews call you Hala because you were telling some story on Girls Chat and someone, or not even your nephew, it's your friend.
No, yeah, it was a friend's son.
But he called you Hala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was someone I know from college.
Does your dad call you Hala?
My dad, yes. He still answers the phone. Hey.
Actually, how do you officially spell it? Anyway. How do you officially spell Hala?
Great question, Noah.
I think we spell it H-U-L.
Yes. H is H-U-L. I spell Hala H-O-L-L-A because my last name was Holly with an O, but somehow Kerstin and Nikki spelled with an A. Anyway, let's get on to something more
I guess we do spell it with an A. Yeah. But Hala's here, everyone.
Hello.
She's in town. Brian's here. Hey, Brian.
Hello.
And Noah's back as she was yesterday. Noah, I didn't even realize you were in New York. You like told a story in Girls Chat about being in New York, and I was like, what? What is? So you've been there for a month at your dad's?
Yeah, because it's such a big thing to travel here, and we wanted to show Toby off to the family, but it's coming to an end. We're going home soon.
Okay. Wow. How has that been?
It's kind of like being at home, except on the weekends we get to see family.
Oh, okay. So you never get a break from family.
Well, I mean, like Avi. Yeah. Like Avi will take Toby and stuff and give me a little bit of a break. But yeah, pretty much is just baby mode.
Baby mode. And does your dad work, or are you guys like with him all day?
No. He works. He leaves early and comes home like in the evening. So it's just basically the house.
Still have a brush you gave me from your dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He like works.
That sounds weird. Were you making a Ouija doll? What are those called?
A voodoo doll.
A voodoo doll.
A Ouija doll.
He like works for what does he do?
He works for Moroccan Oil.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so she gave me a bunch of products, including this brush. And like,
I have a brush from your dad when I was making the voodoo doll to use his hair.
It's so weird. The brushes I use in my life come from the weirdest places. I don't think I have any brushes that I've bought myself. It's the one Noah's dad gave me. I still use. That's the one I use to like roll out, and like blow dry your hair to make it. You don't know. Don't nod like you fucking know.
Well, I know you do it. I've seen you do it.
Yeah, where you like bend, like you roll it.
Yeah.
Some people know, like a hot roll. I don't even know what it's called. You just put the hairdryer close to it and you burn your hair, and you and that's when there's steam coming off your hair, you know you're doing it right. And then the other brush I have is from this weird guy that came to my show in LA years ago, and it was at the meet and greet, and everyone who was he made it to the end of the line, which is what weirdos always do because they want extra time with you. And not every weirdo, some people. He had a bag of things to give me, and they were all like secondhand things. There were some jeans that had like they were like 2008 jeans with like, and they were used. He had a pair of girls' jeans that he got at like Goodwill. He gave those to me. He was just a crazy person, and I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like just being nice.
But the brush stuck around.
But when he reached in his bag before he started pulling out all of these different things, we've literally thought he was gonna kill me. Like I remember everyone kind of like I remember Matt, my tour manager, was watching like and kind of freaking out, like, do I tackle this guy right now? Because he's really searching his bag a really long time. We don't know what he's about to pull out, but he had something for you. It's like the way someone would, before they kill you, they're like, and I have one last thing for you. Yeah. Oh, I can't find it. Boom. Like,
is that the weirdest thing that's happened at a meet and greet?
Probably not. Like, I think I've had
beyond like random fondles.
Yeah, there's random fondles. I think there's been.
It's a great movie on Hallmark.
On Netflix.
Just clusters of fondles. There's just been like uncomfortable moments of like someone asking me to do something and I just go no, and then it gets kind of weird because they ask me for a video or they ask me for can I simulate like I'm going down on you, like they think it's gonna be funny.
Oh my God.
You know, or like,
What?
will you get on your knees and can I lift you up? Just stuff like that. That I'm just like, I just don't feel like being touched in that way right now, or you know,
fair.
Yeah, but that's
Mimed.
crazy.
oral on. But people have some
And to
wacky
wait
ideas, and a lot of
online.
times
To wait
people always
online to
go,
ask
"Can we
that."
do something funny?" And I go, "I'm out. I don't have any more funny ideas.
Yeah.
I just perform for an hour. I'm tired. You tell
Just
me."
give
I go.
me a
I
brush
literally go
and get out.
Yeah, give me a hairbrush. So this guy gave me a hairbrush, and everyone after the show was like, "Don't use that." But it wasn't used. It didn't have a tag on it or anything. But it wasn't. It didn't have any hair in it. You can clearly see if a brush is used.
Was he bald?
And he gave and all this trash he gave me like a coloring book that was half colored and like an
Whoa.
old map and like some rosary beads and an old pair of jeans. And then he gave me this hairbrush. I
like he-
still use it. And this was
my God.
3.5 years ago.
It's like he
It was the
robbed a
best brush
funeral.
I've ever had. And everyone goes, "You should throw that out." And I'm like, no, unless I can see that it's been used, it's kind of a good brush. And that is the brush I use every single day, including the one that Noah's dad gave me. Like, I can't use brushes. I never intentionally have bought a brush for myself and used it. And then I use
it.
But yeah, so what was I gonna say? Oh, so you came into town.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, like, this guy was for sure at the show last night. He sounds
Brush
like
guy?
yes.
Yeah, he was at the show last night. We went
I
to
came in
Phish.
town, to go see the Phish concert, and
was
this
so
guy
there.
was definitely a Phish fan. This sounds like a Phish fan.
I-
Wait, can I go back really quick, Noah?
Go back.
Do you have tons of family in New York? Are you just like inundated with? God, thank God this dog came to sit in my lap. This is all I wanted.
No, it doesn't feel so good.
Yeah. So on the weekends, you're like seeing family. Do you have so many family members in New York who need and want to see?
I don't
Toby?
have like a big family, but the family that I do have here is just like family that we enjoy spending time with.
Yeah.
Oh,
Got it.
shit. Noah, throwing the uncles under the
Shots
bus.
fired.
Yeah. Oh, so that implies that there's some family you don't like spending time with.
That's right.
What?
There.
I'm in
Uncle
trouble.
Dylan's a piece of shit.
She did not say that. She
No.
didn't say that.
No.
I said that. Yeah, Hala's in town. She lives in Arkansas, but
Yes.
she's in town to go see Phish because her husband's a huge Phish fan, and they go to concerts all the time.
Yeah, we go to a lot of shows.
Mhm.
And we came in for this, and last night we went with Nikki and Chris, and there was a lot of good content had. I thought that the people watching would be great, but we were in a box.
Yeah,
So
I
we were
gotta
kind
say,
of removed.
Boxes
from-
are amazing. Like they're amazing, but you are not at the concert.
We were not.
No.
I know. That's
You're
what
not
I
at
was
the
talking
show.
to John about today.
And I've
Like,
said this
we-
before about Taylor Swift box when we were there
Okay.
in Chicago.
Yeah, you
I go,
did. I heard it
I
on the
didn't
pod.
like. I was like, this isn't the concert.
No, we
It's
didn't
not the
have
experience
the
I want.
experience.
Yep.
But I was happy being a box at Phish because I don't care about Phish.
Well,
and so I was okay with like not.
I don't care about Phish either, but I think tonight is going to be like on a fun factor. Tonight I'll have a lot of fun. I'll get in a lot of good dancing.
I was wanting to
Not
be in the
good
crowd
dan-
last night, though.
Yeah.
I would have
Yeah.
been into Phish, and like I probably would have been more sold on the whole experience had I been
Sure.
in the crowd because it's
That's
like
the whole point of a Phish concert is
It
to
is.
immerse
Right.
yourself in the community, smoke a bunch of weed, and dance to repetitive music for 17 hours.
Exactly.
It
and
does.
it was pretty funny too, because one of Nikki's first comments was like, are Phish fans notorious for just not having rhythm? Like the dancing.
I couldn't
is
find
just-
one person with rhythm that's going
No.
to that even the band wasn't on beat. Like there didn't seem to be rhythm, and obviously the band was incredible. But they, no one in the crowd seemed to be moving in sync with anything except
It's just a flail.
yeah,
You
it's a
just
flail.
Yeah.
It's a flail.
Which
It's
is
a
so fun.
rocking. It's a It's like some people seem to be having the DTs. It was just a lot of shaking and flailing, and but it's free. And I was like, oh, this is Eras Tour.
Yeah.
This is Taylor Swift.
Yeah. I sent you that meme that said like Taylor Swift is a jam band.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, it's in the way that I feel to my ears, it all sounds the same. And I know people say that about Taylor Swift. These people seem to. They all try to dress the same. They dress up in their own way for it. No one's feet were covered at this show.
No.
I was
The more barefoot, the better.
I wore like a slight heel, and I felt like I was dressed for the Met Gala. Like I wore tight jeans and a slight heel and like a fitted top, and I felt so ridiculous. I felt like I was looked like I was going to get married.
Actually,
compared to whatever else.
that guy who gave you the brush wasn't at the show because brushes aren't allowed.
No,
if you brushed your hair, you can't be there.
It was really, and as much as I felt overdressed, I didn't feel judged or anything for not being like a true Phish fan. Like I think I've been doing enough Eras shows that I just feel like the way I feel when people don't seem to be dressed for the occasion, I was just like, I'm just happy that person's here.
Yeah.
They're gonna absorb some of this energy.
That's the whole Phish thing. Is everyone's just happy and welcoming, and that's the whole
Brian,
point.
have you been to a Phish show?
No, never. But
are there
I have a
concerts that you've
Phish
been
friend.
to?
I have a Phish friend who I've sat down and watched Phish concerts live streamed with him, and
they live stream
talked
every
to
single
him.
show.
Yeah. So I just know the vibe, but I've never gone.
Is there a band that you've been to like multiple concerts of?
Well, I've seen John Williams at the Hollywood Bowl 6 years in a row, but I'm going to stop going.
Who is
John Williams?
Soundtrack.
He's a music composer. He composed a lot of like really popular movies like Jaws and Star Wars and Harry Potter.
Oh,
And,
is it like he plays with a symphony?
Yeah, I mean, his orchestra plays, and they usually play clips over it. It's usually a really big deal, and it's
That
been
sounds
happening
fun.
every year since like I don't know. It's been happening for like 50 years every year at the Hollywood Bowl.
Are you guys
Ever
called
since-
Willies?
What?
Are fans of John Williams called
Yeah,
Willies?
we're called Willies. There's
I
big Willies
asked-
and little Willies.
I asked last night, like, what are Phish fans called? And they looked like I was fucking
They got,
crazy.
like,
They were like,
offended.
what? What does that
I
mean?
was like,
and I
I
go,
think-
what do you call yourselves? And they were like, and then someone goes, like, the way Taylor Swift fans call themselves Swifties. And they were like, we don't have that. And I go, or the Grateful Dead calls themselves Deadheads.
Right.
Do maybe you have that? And then it was like, oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Now it's like,
No.
it's not a dumb thing to call a group of
No.
people something. The Deadheads do it.
Right.
Phish
and
fans.
I really think they're
And
called
they
fans
said
with a
fans,
PH.
and I go, no, that's okay in writing, but like
Right.
you can't say to each other, like, are you a fan? Like,
But I think that's what
fan? Could you say it with a fan?
Right. I don't
Like,
know.
I just, why wouldn't you give yourselves a fun name like Fishies?
I don't know.
Hala last night we took a picture, and in the picture I sent to the girls chat, and her stomach was kind of like out. Like
Yeah.
you looked like you had like eaten dinner, which you did, and you were like, guys, announcement, I'm pregnant. And in the Phish community, we call it, I'm having a guppy. I was laughing so hard.
Just pregnant with
So
a little
funny.
guppy over
It's
here.
got a little guppy.
I love that you guys went to Terror Tacos.
Oh
yeah.
we went to Terror Tacos.
I know. I said Noah would be loving this. It was
She did.
It was a horror movie themed vegan taco joint.
Yeah, they had
Wow.
and metal,
St. Louis.
and they had metal music playing.
Yes.
So it was metal music.
I
with,
instantly had to put earplugs in as soon as we walked in.
I saw you do
Oh,
that.
yeesh.
I was
She
like,
legit
this,
did.
because everyone at the table screaming like we're
Yeah.
at a concert, and I'm like, why are we here when we're about to go to a concert and scream over loud music? It was just like, it was a little much for me, but and they're playing like horror movies on TVs. It was delicious, by the way. Terror Tacos, shout out, delicious food. The decor is just like horror themed. Like there's posters up, and it's all black paint on the walls with like red streaks. Get rid of the cobwebs. There's like fake cobwebs everywhere. Even though you know they're fake, you can't in your brain separate cobwebs from being, it means dirty.
Good point. I'm so unobservant. I did not even know there were cobwebs.
Everywhere.
I didn't even know.
Oh
I'm
my
so
God, it was covering
unobservant.
all the walls.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it was really delicious, and I can't wait to go there again. It was so freaking
Thank
good.
God the food's good. Otherwise,
was-
it would just
right?
be like insane.
Yeah,
Shitty
you can really
taco
get away
place
with a
all
lot.
these like niche bullshit around.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
for sure going to be hit or miss.
It was
you know,
a hit.
but like we had to try it. That's
Ambiance,
too-
not it's probably a -3 for ambiance. I would get takeout from there, but I don't think I will ever eat there again. No
Yeah.
offense, because it's some people would love that vibe.
I
but
go to
I
Terra
love an
Tacos
ambiance.
for the music.
I
would.
for me, for a restaurant, like ambiance is probably more important than the food. Like a
I
good
disagree.
patio or a good
Well,
like
yes,
quiet
okay.
setting with good lighting, and like if the food was just fine, I would rather go. If the food was terrible, no. But if it's fine, I would rather that than like great food
Agreed.
in
Fair
a place
enough.
that feels like a shitty music venue bathroom.
Disagree. And this is
Really?
this is not a fight, but like a
No, let's
difference
fight
of
about
opinion. This is a difference of opinion between me and my wife, Allie. She loves ambiance. I love food. I would like go to the Soup Nazi. Like the Soup Nazi is like my ideal place. It's just only the food is good, and if the food is good, I will walk over a bed of nails to get it. I don't care.
I just get takeout.
Well,
I don't
yeah.
want to sit.
Sure,
it's
fine.
My food can be ruined if I'm like, if it's too loud or it just feels dirty or you feel like the staff doesn't like you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that they're annoyed that you're there, which I get it because you're not getting paid enough and it is annoying. Like I used to work at a restaurant. When people would walk in, I'd go, no. And I remember people being like, why are you mad? We have customers. Like, that's how you make money. And I'd be like, I don't care. I just hate them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, yeah.
Were you
I
the
would always be like,
hostess?
go away.
Oh,
No, I
yeah.
was a waitress. I was like, the only way I made money was from customers. I wasn't even on like an hourly, you know.
You're like, get out of here.
I just
Especially when it
hated
gets
that
close to closing.
bell rang. Oh God, yeah, that's the worst.
I
But I
used
will
to-
say these places closing 15 minutes early before it says closed on
Yep.
Google. Fuck that, man.
Well, I
There's
used to
over
do.
it.
I used to work at a deli. I worked at a deli for 7 years, and we'd close at 9, and I would literally lock the front door at 8, and then
What?
I would
That's
lock
not
the
9.
front door at 8, and I would just start cleaning. And then if people knocked on the door, they would get so mad. But I just was
Nikki,
like,
I don't feel like
care.
you should judge this. This would have been like your dream. If you had a key to that place, if you had a key to
No, I would
Aladdin's-
never do that. I couldn't do
Okay.
that to people. I would
even though you
maybe-
would groan when they came in.
No, here's what I would do. So last night our food did take a long time because this place
Yeah.
was packed, but
Packed.
it did
There was
take
also
a
a
really
bestie
long
there.
time. Yeah, there was also I don't know if she's a bestie,
Oh,
but she
a
was
gal who liked you.
She was a Nikki.
Yeah.
But maybe our food was taking a while because it was such a popular place and we were there at like on Taco Tuesday. So it was like, I think they had an extra large crowd, but no communication about like, hey, it's going to take a while. Like,
Right.
if
None.
anything, they pulled, so they had QR codes on the menu and you like, I like places where you order on your phone and you pay on your phone and then it's just sent in and you don't have to deal with anyone. They just bring your food. Fucking love it. Great. I don't care. That's a great system. But then right before we submitted our order, they grabbed our QR codes and said, we can't do these anymore. We're doing real menus because we're getting too many orders. And so I was like, that's not a good sign. I placed the order. We're waiting. And it's like 35 minutes we've been waiting. And that's when I started
heard
like
nothing.
feeling like there's no communication
For
about like,
tacos?
hey, sorry. And I'm looking around at tables. I can tell you, when I walk into a restaurant, I look immediately at who's gotten their food so far, who am I competing with, who just got sat, whose order do I need to get in before theirs. Like I always tell my table like, hey, listen, guys, sorry, but let's like order like instead of getting drinks and then they come back like let's order the food with the drinks so we can get in before
Which
that
is
table.
why it's great to have a QR code. It's like, okay, we're getting this thing done. Let's do it.
it was-
and then
but then we
wound up
waited and
being-
waited, which is fine because they were slammed. And listen, I will wait forever if I am told, sorry, we're backed up. The kitchen's fucking overwhelmed. The guy called in sick last second.
or
like,
it's Taco Tuesday.
or it's we're just
We're
overwhelmed.
terrorized by customers right
Yeah,
now.
it's
Fair taco.
season 1 of The Bear, whatever that episode is, where their system breaks and the orders are coming in too fast.
Yeah.
Like if they just communicate, I will grant anyone the grace if I'm just communicated with.
Sure.
But when I am being treated like this is normal and like we're not even going to look at you and we're going to act like we're
Yeah.
the Delta help desk.
It wasn't even like
And
this
not
is
make eye
normal. They
contact
just-
with you.
Yeah.
It's a little bit weird. So then I literally Googled how long before you have a right to complain or a right to ask. I don't even know how long before you should get your food after you order it. And you're supposed to, in restaurant culture, it's like 3 to 5 minutes for drinks. Like between when you're supposed to have, before, when you sit at your table to have your drinks is 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then food is no longer than 20 minutes. Longer than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I didn't say anything and I was not even about to. But then Hala was like, I'll fucking do it. And she got up and Chris
Damn.
made the comment like,
Hala
it's
don't
best
care.
that someone with tattoos go up and talk about this because this is a place where people with
One of
tattoos
us.
gain respect
Yes.
and have a different
You might work at a restaurant with all those
yeah,
tattoos.
like they were like,
Yeah.
oh, this girl gets it. And so we got our food and it was fucking so good. But we had to slam it because we had to get the fish, which you'll hear about right after we get back from break. then we go to Phish.
Yeah.
And we have a box seat because we've got an inside track because we got tickets through. It's like a real convoluted thing.
Yeah.
But Hala went to a show. She's friends with a guy who's friends with a guy who was at this show. This guy was like, "Oh my God, you know Nikki Glaser? Nikki Glaser is dating a guy I went to high school with. He literally is like my Hala, like in my life." And he's like, not only are you going to go to Phish, you're going to get box seats to Phish. I don't even care if Nikki comes with you. You guys are getting box seats. And she's like, no way, you're drunk. He's like, no, I'm not. And this guy, Trey, does all like the, what is he? He like manages them in a way. Not manages, but manages
he's in charge. So, Brian, how you were mentioning that they do video of all their shows. They post all their shows and you can watch them online. He runs all of that.
Yeah.
So he does the production for the
big production.
simulcast.
Damn.
Yes, for the simulcast. He's been working for them since like 2003.
Yeah.
He said that, and this guy Trey Kerr, he is buddies with Chris from high school, and he said that in high school all he did was listen to Phish and memorize lyrics. Like that's all he did. And his father used to be like, if you put as much work into something, into anything as much as you did Phish, you could really actually have a career. And like little did he know, like this was going to be his career.
Is Phish.
Is
Yeah.
Phish, and he's
Damn.
very successful. He runs their whole thing. He's a really impressive guy, and
Put that dad
so
to
cool
shame.
and really hooked. Yeah, right. Really hooked us up.
Yeah.
brought us
It was so
backstage.
fun.
We got to go to the whole bus where they have all the video monitors set up, and they're doing the live. Kind of editing. I forget. I should know these
the
things.
simulcast thing. They're doing the
switching.
they're cutting
They're
it right
switching.
there. Like
Yeah, they're switching
camera.
the switching
Da-da-da-da.
board. Yeah. And there's like 3 guys in there working very, very hard, and so we
I
got
was
to go
trying to
backstage.
dance too hard to like shake.
Yeah, and the bus was kind of
truck, which
shaking.
Probably wouldn't happen.
But it was really cool. We got this like we got to meet who John, your husband, described on the way there. We were talking about the live show, and John was like, he was like, the lighting is one of the most important parts of the show. I'm trying to do an impression. I'm not good at it. He's so cute, but he was like saying the lighting is a very important key part of this shows, and that he said the lighting guy is like the
fifth member of the band.
Yeah, is the fifth member of the band. Like he's been around there forever, and he's really important to the overall experience of the show. And so then we got to meet that guy, and I didn't connect it to the guy.
I didn't either, because at the time I didn't know who. Like none of us knew who that was, but John is like a PH fan.
Yeah.
And so I think in his head at that moment he was like, "Holy shit, fifth member of the band!" But
yeah,
none
we
of
met
us
that guy.
Knew.
He's been working for Phish since 1988.
Yeah.
They met in Burlington, Vermont, when they were just playing bar
In
shows,
college.
and he's now on like
long
he's
as I've been
still
alive.
doing the lighting for them. And he was a big fan of mine. He got like nervous to meet me. It was so cute.
Sweet.
I love him so
It
much.
was
Shout
so
out, Chris.
cute. God.
But yeah, I just realized like Phish is Taylor Swift. Like
Yeah.
they have hundreds of songs. There's all these like inside jokes. Like I heard the fans like screaming out at parts that they weren't, but like they were all chanting certain things at certain parts, which is a Taylor Swift thing. Like there's all these things going on. People were like cheering at different parts that I was like, oh, I don't get whatever's happening now. There's something special. It just and Chris was even saying like, he was like, oh, my Chris was saying the lore. There's always lore. There's lore behind every song. There's like a story behind every song, and like you even were telling us some story about the song Ocelot, and and it was funny because Hala told us, she was like, "Oh, this song is about like when he was in rehab, he was thinking about this friend of his that he hadn't talked to in a while, and he wrote the song about the friend, and she was like, it was just so touching." And Chris and I were like talking. She told us that, and then we went back to watching the music. And then Chris and I like went to the bathroom and got some snacks, and then
they did like a whole jam.
and then we went and talked to a bunch of his friends in the box, and we like walked around. And then 25 minutes later, Chris was like, "Do you realize this is the same song Hala was telling us? We're still in that song."
Yeah,
And
it was so funny.
it's no joke. These songs last forever. Last night there was it was a huge night in Phish.
Fishtory.
Yeah, in Phish Street. Yeah, I got Bart Coleman, who used to book my show, Not Safe.
yeah.
He's a huge Phish fan. He wrote to me today when he saw on my stories that I had been to the Phish show. He was like, I can't believe you saw a 40-minute tweezer. And I was like, it felt like tweezers in my eyes for 40 minutes. I was like, it felt like it was great. I really think I could be a fan if I immersed myself in it. But to me, it really it reminded me of Taylor Swift, and like everyone in that show was having the best night of their life. And I was thinking about how like I was looking out at this crowd because we're in this box above all this mass of just like dudes in ball caps and just rocking along and having the best time. And I go, God, if we saw all of their thought bubbles, no one would be worried about their life right now. No one's thinking
Everyone's
about the
having
kids
the
at home.
best
No one's
time.
thinking about that room they have to paint or the taxes they have to ask for an
only
extension
thing-
on. They're all just like, there'd be just music notes in those bubbles.
Yeah. Or like, oh shit, I gotta like change my pot to the vegetation stage. Like
Right.
growing. I
Yes.
don't know.
Yeah. They were just all, everyone's just like, it is blissful. It
Yeah,
was
That's
so
why
much
it's
fun.
good to go see live events and,
Heck
music
yeah.
and artists on
Yes.
stage.
Yeah.
It's really, I want to do it more often. It was so fun. And,
Well, haven't you been going to more shows lately?
Yeah. I mean, I could have gone to 4 in 2 weeks, and I'm so mad I didn't
my
go see
God.
Mates of State because I just wasn't in the mood the other week. But
Jason Mraz.
I went to see Jason Mraz, and then I went to see Counting Crows with Santana on Saturday, but I left before
Carlos
Santana because
Santana.
I don't even know. I don't know any Santana songs except the ones he's featured on.
Maria.
I do know that one.
That song was drilled into our heads. That might be the most overplayed song in human history.
No,
that?
No, I think it's the other Santana song. It's a hot one.
Oh my God.
Oh,
that
God.
might be.
Is that with Rob Thomas, right?
Oh yeah, it's with Rob Thomas.
Yeah.
And Rob Thomas wasn't. If Rob Thomas would have been there, I would have stayed for that song. But I just didn't care about Santana. I'm sorry to people who might be horrified by that. But Counting Crows and Santana are on tour together, and Counting Crows were amazing. I was
Counting Crows, they're a jam band, huh? Mike Adam Duritz is a jam band.
No, what? No, jam
Just
bands
him.
to me equal.
Hold on.
No, jam bands, I think, mean they go on a really long time and they jam out. They do.
Okay. All right.
Adam Duritz is not jamming out. Those
But
songs
Adam
are 4
Duritz-
minutes long at most.
Fair. Okay.
Fair.
He's on a jam band. He improvises his own songs.
Yeah. If
The
you,
band plays standard. The music is exactly how it is on the album.
yeah, the band
Adam
is
Duritz-
sticking to the studio album. Like,
Adam Duritz is taking full creative license.
Adam Duritz is on he's just doing what he wants up there with
Yeah.
the song. He's making it his own. He's making it fun for him. And
Which good for him. I'm sure it could be
love
boring.
it. I met Adam
Madison
Duritz.
Singh
I think I told the story on the podcast last year, but I met him at Bob Saget's fundraiser because he was friends with Bob, and he killed. I mean, he blew me away at that show, and his voice was just so amazing. He was really nice to me, and I've just been a fan forever. And the last Counting Crows concert I went to was probably in high school, and I don't think he was doing this kind of style that he does now, which is like does not sing the melody that you know and love.
Right.
He's
Because
doing
I
his own
think-
thing.
In high school, that was like when we were in high school, I think that was his heyday, right? That was when
Yeah,
he was at his height. And so it's like maybe he had to play it exactly how it sounded.
maybe
because
he hadn't become bored with it yet.
Yeah.
Because I think
can't-
this is a reaction to making it interesting for him, which
Right.
like respect. Like I
yes,
want the
I
artist to
can't
be having fun up
imagine
there.
singing those same songs for 20
But
plus years.
don't try to sing along
No.
unless you want to play a really fun game, which Taylor and I did. So I went with Taylor from Girls Chat, and we turned it into the best damn time because our section wasn't really, they weren't crows heads. They weren't crowies.
Yeah.
They
Crowies.
were more
Edgar Allan Crowies.
Yeah, they were. They weren't Evermories. They were Santanis. You know, they
Okay.
were waiting. So we decided to sing the studio track along with the band and just see how it synced up with Adam Duritz, and it was really, really fun.
I loved those videos.
So I sent you a bunch on someone Girls Chat, but we weren't singing obnoxiously loud, but just to ourselves to see how off it was. And it's impossible to sing Long December with him. He is in March. He's singing Short March because which I do. When I go to a show, I really want it to be like the way I know it.
Yeah, I do. I was saying this on Girls Chat. I definitely do if it's a nostalgic band. Like I went to Counting Crows and I was depressed afterwards because I was like, all I wanted to do was go to this and have a sing along, but that was impossible to do because Adam Duritz is doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to make a quick announcement for the besties. It's not an announcement that I'm not having a guppy, but the funny thing is that speaking of Taylor, I am married to her high school boyfriend, which might just be fun for besties to know.
I thought you said Taylor Swift. I was
Oh,
like,
God, no.
hold the
That's what I thought.
Taylor McGraw. Did I say Taylor Swift?
You said Taylor,
no,
but
I'm
Taylor,
married to
but-
Taylor McGraw's high school boyfriend.
Yeah, Taylor from Girls Chat. It's very incestuous over at Girls
So
Chat.
incestuous.
Taylor, our friend from high school, dated John Holla's now husband, who we knew in high school and you were friends with in high school, but he was not. If someone would have said John Tipker is going to be your husband, what would you have said?
I would have been like, what?
You would have
How would that
slapped them
happen?
hard on the back.
And I also wouldn't have believed that Toby is actually my child.
Oh,
what?
So incestuous.
Breaking news.
Toby's
Oh,
mine.
right. She is yours.
Yeah.
I almost said he. I did
Anyway.
say he. So Taylor and I went to Cantin. It was so fun, and he acts out all of the lyrics, which Hala also warned us about because she had seen a Counting Crows show before us. So he's like, like round here, and he'll do like round with his, like he's doing ASL for people who don't speak ASL. Round here,
He's just miming.
we all look, and he'll point at his look the same, and he'll do like an equal sign. Round here, we all talk like liars. He acts out everything. It's really fun to watch, and it was really interesting. He sounded amazing. It was such a good show. He played so many hits, including a Taylor Swift cover. He played the one for any Swifties listening. Yes, he played the one, which I love that he picked that song. And it's like, I was kind of thinking about it. It's on Folklore, which is kind of a more Counting Crows-y type album. And it's the first track off Folklore. And he did change. I like when people change lyrics though to fit like a boy singing about a girl as opposed to a girl singing about
That
a
is
boy.
fun. How did he change it?
him.
I have this dream you're doing cool shit, having adventures on your own. You meet some guy on the internet and take him home. And it's like, it's usually, you meet some woman on the internet and take her home. And so, it was like, but it was really good. I think he stuck to that
pronouns,
melody
switched out
more
the
than he did his
pronouns.
own song.
That makes sense. He's not bored with it yet.
What'd you say,
20
Brian?
years.
He switched out the pronouns.
Yeah, you got to do that.
Yeah.
You don't want to be gay.
No, you don't want to be gay in these songs. It would be offensive. But I think every band should have 20% more jamming in their concerts. Not more than that, though. But there's sometimes I go to a concert and they play their 2-minute and 45-second song and it's over. And I'm like, that's it? Like, I want to hear that song for like way longer than that.
I want him to play it twice sometimes.
Yeah.
I would have loved to hear Omaha twice or Anna Begins twice. Oh my God. Anna Begins is my favorite Counting Crows song ever. And it's, I think it might be a top 10 favorite song. I think Counting Crows, I think, are one of Adam Durt's. And then by the way, he's still pumping out the hits. Like I went to Spotify to the day of the show to be like, what's their new stuff sound like? And I'm like, oh my God, this is all so good.
Nice.
And I think I've been like avoiding listening to it because I don't have enough time in my life.
August
or
and
whatever.
everything after is so good.
But so was Recovering the
one.
Satellites, and then
the one that's like the Phish.
Mrs. Potter's Lullaby, This Desert Life.
Yes. Thank
yeah,
you.
that was
Yeah,
so
wow.
good too. And then all this, the Shrek stuff. Man, good albums.
what?
But this new song, Elevator
Yeah.
Shoes.
The song on Shrek was
Yeah.
Counting Crows.
What was the song?
Accidentally in love.
It's pretty
Accidentally in love.
Oh, to me, Shrek is like Smash
Accidentally
Mouth.
in love.
Yeah.
No, I think Shrek was. I mean, I think it's Smash Mouth too. But
Somebody once told me,
For sure.
isn't that like Shrek?
that is Shrek. But I think Accidentally
Walking
in Love
on
is
the
also
sun.
Shrek.
What's Walking on the Sun?
That's Smash Mouth.
Is that Shrek though? Or-
Yeah, no.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I
think
equate Shrek with
somebody-
Smash Mouth.
And I think you're right to do that. But I do also think that Counting Crows did.
They did like the
that-
love song in Shrek.
Yeah, Accidentally in Love when him and the ogre
The
fall in
ogre,
love.
the-
I've never seen
The
fall in love.
disgusting ogre.
I've seen it once.
They're both
I don't
ogres,
know.
but she's actually a
Maybe you should
beautiful
watch- I don't remember the
princess
storyline at
or
all.
something.
Yeah, played by Cameron Diaz. I've never
Yeah,
seen
she's
Shrek,
a beautiful
but I know that there's like a
princess, and
Shrek
she turned
resurgence.
into a huge ogre. It's disgusting, and then and then they get married, and they both stay disgusting ogres. and the lesson
Honestly,
is,
I like that.
It's
yeah,
just the reverse of Beauty and the Beast.
Oh my God, you guys! My niece was telling me about Beauty and the Beast
Yeah.
the other day, and she's 5, and she was like, And I like how kids are always out of
They're
breath.
so breathy.
And when Nikki, I like Belle the best because she ends up with Mr. Beast. She called him Mr.
Oh my
Beast,
gosh,
which is
that's
like
so
the kids are
cute.
like, which
Like
is
he's the neighbor.
no,
Like,
Mr. Beast is like the most famous guy on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Which you wouldn't know, but like these little kids are like absorbing all this new stuff but just calling him Mr. Beast was so funny. But
I thought your sister was trying to make them like polite kids, so she refers.
oh god,
to
no, she's not doing that. Are you kidding me? They came over the other day, and within 1 minute of being in the house, Forrest, who is 2.5, threw both my remotes behind the couch violently. That just as a greeting. That's what he does.
Sure.
Just it's a tradition, and it's a custom. That's how do you say, "Oh, I love your house. Thank you for having me." And yeah, he took his shoes off, threw those, and I go, "Oh, thanks for taking your shoes off. That's polite." But then he took my AirPods. I wasn't even watching, out of the case that was charging on the couch, and threw those in both two different separate corners. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, let me look on the bright side of things. At least he didn't eat them.
I thought it was going to be something like
And
that.
then he saw a picture of Arlo on the wall and took it off the wall and like tried to break it. It's
vengeance.
He's wild, man. He is a wild man. But so I wanted to share some funny things from Phish last night because I was having if I don't know the music, if I make some kind of like jokey game, I can have a really good time. Like Taylor and I trying to sing along with the Counting Crows songs was really good. Oh, I wanted to share just before we get to that. Anna Begins. That's my favorite song because I, in high school, was in love with one of my best friends, Doug.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
And
Doug Reese.
Doug Reese. If you're out there, I really want to be friends again. I know you're married and have kids. I won't make it weird.
Honestly,
I just want to be friends.
You've announced this so many times on the podcast.
I don't know.
Who has not delivered? Someone knows him. Someone knows him.
I think. REIS.
REIS. Yeah.
Reese,
Doug, where
Reese.
are you?
98 Doug Reese is what we called him. So he was my friend. I was obsessed with him. I was like madly in love. He's my first like obsessive love. And he played guitar and he was really good at it. And he loved Dave Matthews just as much as me. So it was the closest I felt to like being with Dave Matthews. And so this was like 10th grade that I became friends with him. And we would hang out after school and study. And I was like so in love. And we also used to love Counting Crows and listen to them all the time. And it was like the first brave thing I think I ever did in my life. I was like, I'm going to tell him I like him.
Oh, shit.
And all my friends were like, you can't. Nikki, I remember you guys being like, don't. And I'm like,
That's
I
so
can't
weird.
hold this
Why-
in anymore. Like,
Wonder why we didn't want you to say.
because you probably saw where it was going to go. Like, it wasn't going to be reciprocated. Or like, or it was just like, that's going to make things weird for all of us. Maybe you guys were into it, but I remember I thought for sure that I was going to kiss him after I told him that I liked him. Because I thought there's no way he doesn't like me. Like, we both really did like each other.
You were hanging out all the time.
All the time. And we were studying for Mr. Mackin's chemistry class. We had a test the next day. So I went over he had like a room in his basement, which was so fun because like we would just like hang out in this basement and I'd watch him play guitar and play all my favorite Dave songs like perfectly. He was so talented. And I would just like be swooning. But we were downstairs. Oh, so before I went over there, I knew I was going to go over at 4:00. So after school, Kerstin came over. We got out of school at 2:50. She came over to my house and I was like, I'm going to have my first kiss. And she was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is going to happen. And Kerstin had already kissed boys before at this point. And I was so nervous. I was in 10th grade and I had never kissed a boy before. And I was like, what if I'm bad? And she was like, you're not going to be bad. And I'm like, I have no idea how to kiss. I like had studied Can't Hardly Wait, and how they kiss at the end. So I knew you needed to raise your eyebrow after the second time your lips went in for like a and then you raise your eyebrow and you go, ooh. And that's all I knew because I'd studied Jennifer Love Hewitt doing it. But she was like, you're going to be fine. And I was like, I don't think so. And she was like, just kiss me. I'll tell you if you're good. And I was like, really? And she was like, yeah. We were in my bathroom. And she was like, seriously, just, I was like, open mouth. And she was like, yeah. So we made out in my bathroom.
Wow. I remember hearing
Like,
this
just not
story.
like for a long time, but like long enough so she
Did
could
you
get a sense
like
of it.
With
No,
Kerstin?
it was really like,
You
it
were like,
felt like I
this
was
is
doing
work.
a plank or something. Like, and she
Okay.
was like being like, oh, maybe just adjust your hips. Like,
Yeah.
it felt very clinical.
Just your hips.
I don't know. Like
Because she said it's like she's doing
Like a
and
plank,
Kirsten's
yeah.
like,
No, I get it.
so
okay.
and yes, and she wanted me to adjust my hips for the kisses
push
as well.
yeah.
She's
into
like, stop
me a lot for
grinding them against my hip. And so we kissed, and then and she was like, "You're fine." Like I just see Kristen being like, "Yeah, this is good. Yeah. I don't know, it's good.
great.
Brush your teeth or whatever." Like I had already brushed my teeth definitely by the time I kissed her, and I was like, "Really?" And she was like, "Yeah, that was it. That's all you have to do." And I was like, "Oh, that was easy."
Yeah.
And I didn't realize until literally decades later that was my first kiss. Like I was telling this on a podcast decades later, and I go, "Oh my God, guys, that was my first kiss." Like I didn't think it counted because it was a girl.
Yeah.
And then me and you made out.
No, I actually remember a kiss you had before that.
What?
Oh, shit.
Amber Johnson in 6th grade.
Oh my God. Amber Johnson.
Yeah.
Holy shit. She goes, "Yeah, it's easy, Nikki." Wait, what? Didn't she just grab my
all
face?
I know is Amber Johnson was your first kiss.
That's right. Because you guys teased me about that so much. And I was like,
Which is weird because I hadn't kissed. Wasn't that like 6th grade?
Yeah, but it was just funny for two, she like assaulted, like I didn't want to kiss her. She was
Right.
just like, "All you gotta do is kiss. You just go like this." And she grabbed my face and kissed me. And I remember you guys were always just like, "All you gotta do is go like this." And you just like kept kissing
And that's
me.
probably what Kirsten said to you
And she
in
was
the
not,
bathroom that day.
she was not someone who you wanted to kiss. Like she wasn't like, I just remember being like, "That's not who I want for my first kiss. I barely know
No,
this
you
woman."
wanted Doug Reese or Kirsten.
And in 6th grade, I wanted no one.
I'm sure.
I couldn't, I was not into boys yet. I wanted like maybe a cartoon character, maybe Doug from the cartoon character. So,
Doug Funny.
yeah, Doug Funny. He was so cool. Or Patty, or even Roger. I would have
Out
taken
of that
dog.
group, yeah, I think
Skeeter.
Skeeter.
Skeeter. He's a nerd. He's got
Skeeter?
He's got a
No,
big
Skeeter
dick
wasn't-
though. No doubt. No doubt.
So Kirsten approves of my kiss. I go over to Doug Reese's house, and it literally feels like I put it up there with like the first time I did stand up, or even like doing the roast, like doing
nervous you
terrifying
were?
things. Yes. Oh my God. But I was so excited too, because I like
Okay.
knew I was about to get a boyfriend, because
Yeah.
we were best friends. Like,
Yeah.
and he was always nervous around me. Like I could just tell he liked me too. I knew this couldn't go wrong. And I just remember like, there's so many times in my life I have this moment where I'm like, just do it. You're going to like, you're not doing it. You're going to do it now.
Yeah.
And like, I just said it, and I go, "Doug," and he was like, "Yeah." And I just knew he knew what I was going to say. And I was like, I was looking at my notebook. I couldn't even like look at him. I was just like staring at the top of my open chemistry book. And I was like, "I have to tell you something." And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I like you." And it was just like, it felt like pulling off a Band-Aid or like jumping in the cold pool at swim practice. And I was just like, "I like you." And just sat there. And he was like, "I like you too." And I was like, oh my God. It was like, yes. And I was like, I go, "Okay." And he was like, "But I just got a girlfriend."
Oh,
and I was like,
shit.
"What?" He was like my best friend. I go, "What? When?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Her name's Catherine. She goes to Viz, which is a private school." And I was like, What?
Typical.
I don't even know that you go talk to private school girls. Where would you even meet them? Like I had no clue that this girl existed, and and then he like walked me upstairs, and I remember my mom coming to get me, and I remember waiting in his garage and making small talk with his parents, and just feeling
my
like
God.
so embarrassed, wanting to like just cry and run. And I went home and I cried so much, and the next day was awkward, but then he eventually broke up with her for me.
So that was your first
was-
heartbreak.
Yeah.
It was my first heart. I was so
Yeah.
and then it became obsessed with hating Catherine and like trying to get him to break up with her.
Was
not
Anna
saying
Begins playing?
Oh
when
yeah,
you
Anna
said
Begins
it?
was okay. So Anna Begins was playing. We were listening to Counting Crows, and
So
when I
it's
said it,
such
it
a,
goes
like love song.
It goes the seconds when I'm shaking. It was something about like
shuddering.
yeah, there was some line about like, and she's shaking. And I remember like my hand was shaking. I was like, oh, this is all so like too real of what's going on. But I remember Anna Begins was playing while I told him it. And it was my favorite song. And I almost planned it with the song, because I was like, this is like out of Dawson's Creek that this song would be playing in the background when this moment happens between Joey and Dawson. And we were going to kiss for the first time. And I'm going to have sex for the first time, maybe, which I probably just thought was like a penis rubbing on my stomach or something. Like I didn't even know what sex. I was so just dumb when it comes to the stuff. But then he eventually broke up with her, and the second he did, I wasn't into him anymore. And that's the
Yeah,
story
there
of
you
my
go.
life, always wanting what I can't have. We'll be right back after this. We're back. Final thought. Last night at the Phish show, we made it fun because I started one of my best lines of the night was I went to the bathroom during a song, and I came back and I said to Chris, "What did I miss?" Because I missed nothing. They were like still on the same like chord progression over and over. It all sounds like a lot of it sounded like the Charlie Brown Christmas music. Dun, dun,
Which
dun,
is great.
Dun, dun, dun,
Vince
like,
Guaraldi, let's do it.
yeah, it sounded like that to me.
Yeah.
But I really like gotta sing what you gotta jaboo, gotta sing jada gaboo. I like that song.
Uh-huh.
And I like this. They didn't play Wilson, but I really like that song. And I also like Farmhouse, and they didn't play that song. And we got to see the set list backstage during the intermission.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I knew that when I saw the set list, I was like, okay, good.
You're
I
like,
don't
okay,
have to
I'm not
stick
gonna
around
miss-
waiting
yeah, I'm
for
not gonna miss.
Wilson. Dun-dun, dun-dun. Okay, so one of the funny jokes that I was doing last night was that I was just telling Hala breaking news that was happening from all these people being at the Phish show. So it started like I just went up to Hala, like she literally thought there was like a terrorist attack or something, because I was like, oh my God, Hala, holy shit. Did you guys hear? I just got this alert on my phone. We just broke the record for the most Tivas in one building. Did you guys know that? Like, I was just, and so I just kept coming up to her being like, this is serious. I'm not even joking you right now. We have to call Guinness. Like, they are not going to believe that about this world record. Tonight marks the first time that 700 people have simultaneously uttered the phrase, dude, how sick were Lunchables? Like, that happened tonight. We broke that record.
How sick are Lunchables?
And I was like, I go, Hala, it is, did you hear? It's estimated that in this entire crowd, it's estimated that there have been upwards of 11 to 14 showers have been taken today in this whole crowd. And I go, holy shit, fuck, I'm getting this alert right now. Oh, fuck. Oh my God, you guys. And they're like, Nikki, what? I'm just like, this is serious, you guys. St. Louis City just put out an alert that they're shutting down all their Frisbee parks. They said that no one has been spotted at one for the last 90 minutes. And that, like, if there's no one there, they're shutting them down. And then a couple more. I said, fuck. Oh shit. Oh my God. It's been reported there's an alarmingly low sperm count levels that have been detected in my area. What the fuck, you guys? We gotta do something. What do we do? And I go, this just in. There are 300 unread texts from right now in this building. There are 300 unread texts from dad saying, sorry, son, I just can't do it this month. Maybe ask your mom's new boyfriend. I hear he's loaded.
Read the one about.
Oh my God. Oh fuck. We did it again, you guys. Another record broken. This is unbelievable. This is the biggest grouping of people that within the last week have paid for a 6-inch meatball sub in loose change. This is wild. We did it. Oh my God. Wait, we gotta, oh fuck. Oh shit, this was bad. Someone needs to call the Humane Society like right now, because I think there are approximately 1,100 bearded dragons and dirty fish tanks who haven't been fed in the last 3 hours.
That's my favorite.
I know, that was so good.
And then we just kept on going. And so I said,
And by we, it was you. And part of it that was so funny was the delivery. Like, we would all be doing something different, and then Nikki would like burst out, like stressful walking, and like, yeah, anyway.
Matt Green, my brother-in-law, who was also at the show, sent me some. He was like, due to this week's excessive heat warning, the city of St. Louis has opened up a temporary king center for the unhoused on the campus of St. Louis University, which is where this venue was. He goes, thousands of hungry people packed Midtown St. Louis this evening after reports that fire-ass burritos were being served out of a White Owl's Subaru Forester. I don't even know what that means.
Damn.
I don't know what any of it means.
I have a Subaru Forester.
Well, and you dress like you are going to a Phish show tonight.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I don't.
And then I wanted to play this recording because, you know, Kerstin is amazing at prank calls, which are not really prank calls. They're just like her calling in this kind of like chipper voice as like a customer service person working for a company that is delivering some good news to one of its clients. And this is a call that she said on Girls Chat today that she wanted to give to John, Hala's husband, who had the greatest time. I mean, he's a huge Phish fan. So this, I just think, is one of the funniest things going.
I think John needs a prank call today for number one Phish fan. Hi, this is Mackenzie calling from the Chaffetz Center of St. Louis. John, we would like to inform you that you have been nominated as number one Phish fan last night. we noticed that your cutoff jean shorts had a fray that was so incredibly natural and created exactly from dancing at concerts before this one last night. We know you've been dedicated to dressing casually at concerts so that you're free to move. John, also want to let you know that we tracked that your foot-to-foot radius in weight shift was approximately 26 degrees more intense than any other dude your age. You're getting this award because you are between the ages of 40 and 45. We also clocked that you nodded your head 65 times within 1 hour. 1 hour is actually only 3 songs for Phish because the songs are really long.
We got it.
On and on and on. But John, we wanted to really thank you for your dedication coming to the Phish show all the way from Arkansas. We tracked it. You drove from Arkansas.
Tracked.
And it took you
Kansas.
approximately 4.2
Wait, listen to the prize he's gonna
We
get.
hope you had a great time at the show. Oh yes, we're sending you an award. It's going to be a tie-dye American flag. Thank you.
I just love that every time Kerstin calls someone as a prank call, she's like, "Hi, it's Mackenzie. We have used technology and lasers to track that you move side to side more rotations than anyone at the like." I just love. She's always using technology.
Kerstin once prank called me while you guys were on girls trip and I was pregnant about like a baby jujitsu center in Tucson that's like like asking us to join as members, and I played it to Avi and he believed it, and still to this day I haven't told him it was Kerstin.
Oh my God.
Really?
I want to hear
Because
it.
it is so convincing because she does this thing where she's like, Noah. Like she's resets like a customer service person of like, we're so excited.
Yeah.
Like she's talking from a we place. Like she really nails like the tone.
And
these
she
calls.
gives personal details like that would be specific to you. She probably like said sometime around your due date, so that it makes it more believable, especially to Avi, who would have no clue.
Her saying that John wins an award because the fray on
off.
his jeans is the most natural.
It's incredibly natural.
I was like, did Nikki even send a picture of John?
Of
No,
course it
that's
was-
how
yeah.
often he wears frayed jean shorts.
Yeah, and they are naturally frayed. Like he would never buy a pair of shorts that was like artificially frayed.
No, he wears jeans until they need to get cut. Then I cut them into shorts for him, and then they get a natural fray from friction from dancing.
It was so fun last night,
Yeah.
just like coming up with those. I could have done
That
it
was
all
so
night long
funny.
of just being very alarmed at something that's happening because all of these people are in one place together. I mean, there was the easy places to go was like hacky sacks and like Kerstin did one that was really good about the vape pens jingling in someone's pocket.
The laser. Speaking of the lasers,
Oh wait, was it this?
Last night at the Phish show in St. Louis, we used digital lasers and technology to track the amount of jingling coming from loose cargo short pockets carrying one-hitters and vape pens. As these men danced, and boy, did they dance hard, the jingling reached a shocking amount of 15 decibels, which means that at all times there was at least 2 one-hitters or vape pens coming in and out of the pocket.
I love it that while she's delivering this, she's so heavily pregnant right now and trying to induce labor. So she's she's on the street, probably doing this thing that pregnant women do where they like put one foot up on the ledge or like the curb, and then they walk the other one down. So she's
is this a real thing? Where did she hear this?
I've seen everyone.
Yes.
It's a thing?
Yeah.
I guess I'm not in the pregnancy world, so why
My
would I know
favorite thing that has been suggested to her to induce labor because she's at about 40 weeks and she's trying to get the baby to she's trying to evict it, is that her husband needs to ejaculate inside her. And I just think that's so funny that even when a woman's about to have her insides ripped open and go through the most body terrorizing thing that can ever happen. And men are like, how can you help? Oh, just come inside. They still just get to freely come.
Maybe it is true. Like, kids don't want to think about their parents having sex even before they're born.
Oh, they're like, oh God, if I don't get out of here, mom and dad, gross, stop doing that. Yeah.
I gotta get out of here.
I get it. It's supposed to like send a bunch of oxytocin in your body or something that makes your baby be like, I'm gonna get out. But it is funny that Kerstin is like, will have a baby outside of her body no matter what in a couple days.
Yeah.
It's in it now, but it's going to come out. It has to. In a couple days, she's going to be a real life mom.
Real life mom.
Yep.
So excited. I can't believe it.
That is weird. Noah, was that so weird for you? Like, just one day, there's Toby. She was in you and then not.
I don't think it's weird, but it is like
Yeah, it's, like,
fascinating. It's like,
It
whoa,
is.
I can't believe like an hour ago you were still in there and now
That's
you're
what I think
out.
about shits.
Yeah.
When they come out, I go, that
They're
was
very
in
similar.
me all day.
Yeah.
And now I
I
have to
just-
take care of this for 20 years.
You're kind of pushing a baby out the same way you push a turd out. Just so you know.
I imagine it's the same kind of a similar
muscles.
feeling. Yeah. And that, they kind of come out together sometimes.
Yeah.
You had twins sometimes when you don't even want to. And one's from a different daddy. Yeah. I mean, don't you think that after you take a poop that like, I can't believe that was just in my body? I think it every time. I think
Really?
that I was walking around with that and I was like saying hi to people and taking phone calls and like
That is pretty funny.
waving at babies and being like, oh, it's so cute. And that was just simmering inside me. I just think it's so weird. And I name them and I weigh them and I incubate them and I rub
carry
them
them around for 18 years.
Yeah.
Gross. Sorry.
All right.
Can I get? Oh,
Yeah.
do we have to leave?
Yeah, we have to leave. But what do you want to say?
I was going to give a quick Olympics update.
Oh, please.
Exciting
Yes, let's
Olympics
get one in.
update.
We have time.
Rapid
Well,
fire.
there's this
Breaking news.
guy on the men's Olympics gymnastics team who's sweeping
yeah.
the internet. Have you seen this
Steven.
guy, the pommel horse
Yes.
man?
Yes.
Pretty cool. I mean, I watched it last night, so I was a day late to the party, but it was pretty amazing. The men's Olympics gymnastics team hasn't won a medal at all, bronze, silver, or gold, since 2008. And obviously the women's team, which is just filled with superstars, has won pretty much every year. So the men's team is kind of like this forgotten group. And they did the all-around team medal round 2 days ago. And yeah, there's this guy. So they have 5 guys on the team, and they're all supposed to compete in multiple events. But there's one
Right.
guy on the team who looks like the nerdiest, wearing what are they called? Horn rim glasses.
He's
Yeah.
cross-eyed.
You can wear glasses. in the
Cross-eyed.
Olympics? Okay.
And he's just
Took them
sitting
off.
there on the bench next to these 4 just like ripped, handsome athletes. And he's just sitting there the entire time. And they're like, don't worry, this guy's going to come up later. He's the pommel horse specialist. The only thing he does is the pommel horse. And the whole time they're just cutting back to him. It's like the producers of the Olympics knew that this was funny because this guy's just sitting there. He's like meditating. He's like, his eyes are closed half the
Oh
time.
yeah, I thought it was like he was sleeping.
But
We don't know what he was doing.
He was important though because he was the last one on the team to go. So he was either going to have the
clinched it.
team be in the top 3 or not. It was a make or break
wow.
Yeah,
performance.
so he's just waiting for his turn. He has to wait through 5 full events. He's there for like over an hour, just sitting on a bench doing nothing. And, like,
Actually, it's good he was sitting because he was relaxing his legs, which I'd imagine to do pommel horse, the whole thing is just like, can you get your legs the most like noodles as possible?
well, sometimes he would get up and he would do this, and he'd look really silly. And it's
Yeah.
just like, and every once in a while they'd show like one of the athletes doing like flips and sticking the landing, and then they'd cut to the pommel horse guy, and he'd just be like eyes closed, going like this. I'm like, there he is. He's got to go
I
up
don't
later.
understand the fascination with this guy. Everyone's like, he only does the pommel horse. I'm like, I don't know. I just started watching football. Isn't that what a kicker does? Like they
Very
only
similar to a kicker. But it's never, but also this guy just checked all the boxes of like an ironic savior because he just looked
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
scrawny little nerd, and they kept cutting to him. We couldn't tell if he was nervous or asleep. And also earlier that day, he posted to Instagram him finishing a Rubik's Cube in under 10 seconds. So this guy is just like a
Whoa.
super nerd sitting there with his glasses. Everyone else are these jockey guys doing backflips. And then, yeah, they were, you know, it kind of sucks because the men's gymnast team can never beat China and Japan, I guess, in this instance. And so, like, they never had a chance of getting the gold or even the silver, quite frankly, but they could
Right.
They had a chance to get a bronze medal, and it all
And they
came
did it.
down to the fucking pommel horse guy.
That's cool.
And he went out there, and he went out there, and he delivered the most incredible pommel horse routine.
What do you mean?
I
that's
know.
ever
know
been
what
seen
that is?
in the history of sport.
Of course.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
In
please.
pommel horse, do their legs ever go over their heads? Or is it just they're switching their arms and their legs just like...
Sometimes they do the scissor move, and like a leg goes over their head a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do a handstand. But yeah, it's a lot of just like switching hands and spinning
a
around. It's
flip
very
He was
silly.
referenced today in my Pilates class. They were like, now channel your inner Steven whatever.
Yeah.
And I
Wow.
go, I don't know who that is.
Hawking.
Yeah. And
Sit more still.
and hit on
Do
your
less.
nurse.
It was as interesting and exciting. I think it lived up to the hype for me watching it on prime time.
Okay, I
NBC.
got to give that a chance
Yeah.
because he is a cultural phenomenon, and I know every time I go online, someone's talking about him. So I
We better look it up.
For
We gotta
now.
look it up. We'll go watch it.
Yeah, one
for
more day
now
before
until the
it's
next
not-
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, great Olympics update. I think I'm starting to give a shit. Trying.
I-
Hala doesn't
I-
give a shit either,
I-
by the way, you guys. I talked about it last night with her. I was like, I
I'm
feel
not
bad.
into
I just
it.
don't care about the
No, I
Olympics.
don't care at
And then I
all.
even asked John, your husband, who works at a mountain bike shop. He does mountain bikes his life.
His
and I
life.
go, are you super into mountain biking in the Olympics? I assume mountain biking is in the Olympics. It
It
is.
is.
And he said, oh, I don't really care. And I was like, yes, someone
No.
else doesn't care that should. That actually should.
Stop starting this movement. No,
I'm not-
We
I
got to
don't
go in the
want-
reverse.
No, I want to care. I'm literally not trying to be cynical. I'm just
You're
posing
recruiting
questions.
people.
I'm not recruiting people. I
No,
want people on
she didn't
board.
recruit him.
I love people's enthusiasm for this. I really am not making fun of it. I'm just trying to understand it, and I want to be on board because I like being excited about things.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a really great
so we
way to
better
go
watch
through
this
life.
guy. We'll get excited about pommel horse.
I might be sold on it. I
I can't wait till you
am
have a pommel
open
horse in
to-
your living room for
I
Forrest
easily
to come
forgive
and throw behind the couch.
things, right? Like I do quick forgiveness, so I'm gonna quickly forgive the Olympics for not entertaining me, and I'm gonna let it in my heart that
Yeah,
it could
there
be
you
my
go. Fast
favorite
forgiveness.
thing. This might be my new Taylor Swift. Love it. I think I could get really
the
on
only thing
board.
worthy of watching is NBC primetime. It's 2 hours. Watch it the day after, so there's no commercials. NBC primetime shows you the most important things with packages, so you understand like the human's interest story behind each performance. It's 2 hours. It shows you the most
I
important.
need an
things.
animal interest story. We know that,
There are
but
some.
human interest story. Okay, all right.
There are some. There's a
All right,
horse.
we gotta go because I gotta jump on a call because
it.
I have to promote my shows this weekend in California. Oregon is sold out on Friday night, but Saturday and Sunday in California, San Mateo and Paso Robles.
Yeah.
Tickets still available, limited tickets, but tickets are available. Would love to see you guys at those shows. I'll see you then. Tons of tour dates right now available at nikkiglaser.com. Check those out. Can't wait to see besties in the crowd and hear you cheering. I love you so much. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Thanks, Hala, so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you, Brian. Welcome back, Noah. We'll see you next week. Don't be good. Bye.
Don't be care.